Hello, Facebook. It's Bill, the Knee Pain Guru. Today we're going to talk about tightening up loose ligaments. Loose ligaments caused by, usually it'll be pointed to by the reason for the sloppy knees. Patella will, or kneecap will come out of place. The knee will pop out of joint or dislocate. And if nothing is torn and we're just talking about loose ligaments, what needs to be addressed, what we need to look at is how to strengthen the ligaments, tendons and ligaments that are holding the joint together. So just real quick anatomy lesson. Ligaments connect bone to bone. Tendons connect muscle to bone. Conventional thinking is, well, if we strengthen the muscles in the legs, it's going to fix what's going on as far as the knee goes. However, this is an interesting piece, is tightening up, strengthening the muscles in the legs doesn't necessarily strengthen the joint. And many times it doesn't. That's why people quite frequently have problems after they work out. They still have loose ligaments. So strengthening loose ligaments is like apples and oranges to strengthening muscles in the legs. So the muscles initiate movement. So that's why think of an Olympic sprinter, big dude, he could hit peak speed within 5 to 10 seconds. They're moving really fast. They're big guys. Muscles use up a lot of energy in a very short period of time. Now, tendons and ligaments and fascia actually as well, there's a different way of strengthening them. Think of an Olympic marathon runner. So you have an Olympic sprinter, an Olympic marathon runner. The Olympic marathon runner is going to be very thin guys, smaller people that have lots of, they look real sinewy. They're real skinny. They could run all day long, but their speed isn't all that great. So this goes to show how we can look at the body, look at the knee joint, and strengthen it differently. So an Olympic sprinter is going to have big muscles. You want to have big muscles for that power moving forward, but it doesn't necessarily make the joints strong. And then on the other hand, you have the Olympic marathon runner that is very thin and has a lot of that real sinewy strength that can go all day long. So in terms of strengthening the ligaments in your knee, we want to train more like the Olympic marathon runner. And what that's going to look like is we want to essentially fatigue the muscles sufficiently so the muscles get out of the way. And then we're working on structure. We're working on the tendon and ligament strength. Apples and oranges, very different. And what that's going to look like is fatiguing the muscles. And here's the interesting part, is doing any sort of strengthening like this, weighted, makes the body more vulnerable to injury. So if you're trying to build strength in the tendons, ligaments, and fascia in your knee joint, and you're using weights to create that strength, you actually make the joint more unstable. So what we want to do is body weight exercises for the knee joint that will sufficiently fatigue the muscles, get the muscles out of the way, so we're working on tendons, ligaments, and fascia. Welcome, everyone. If you have any questions, please type your questions in below. Happy to answer them. So, back to sufficiently fatiguing the muscles. Get the muscles out of the way by sufficiently fatiguing the muscles. And what happens is the body begins to shake. This is the place that is very difficult to hold. And it's more of a mental thing than it is a physical. So in that place is usually where, if we're doing weighted exercise, we'll kind of push through that type of exercise. However, it has a tendency, JT, you're not being nice today. Anyhow, okay, so we want to do body weight exercises to the point where we sufficiently fatigue the muscles in the leg to get the muscles out of the way, and then the body begins to shake, and that's at the point where the work begins. That's where we begin to strengthen the tendons, ligaments, and fascia in the knee joint itself. So it's a really simple concept, not necessarily easy. And what we want to do is we want to do this on a consistent basis. It isn't the amount of reps we do, it's the amount of time under tension that fatigues the muscles, gets the muscles out of the way, focusing on the tendons and ligaments. That's where we make the knee joint really strong. If anybody has any questions, please ask them below. Type in your questions about what's going on with your knee. I'd be happy to answer them. I do these videos daily, or at least I try to, and I answer knee pain questions. So if this video is valuable to you, please like it, share it with those that you know that are limping, that need help with their knees. There is other options out there besides prescription drugs, pain-killing shots, exploratory surgery, physical therapy that leaves you in pain sometimes days, weeks afterwards. Prescription drugs that wreck your liver, the shots. I hate needles, so that isn't even an option for me. Point of it is there's another option, and I have a lot of resources on my website, thekneepainguru.com. Any questions, anybody joining and they like to ask a question below, please do so. What exercises do you recommend for tiring the muscles? A squat. Squat is very good, but you have to do it with correct form according to your structure, and do it very slow and incorporate breathing. When you do that, what happens is you'll feel, right at around, like, muscles fatigue at about 6 to 7 seconds. At least the average person, muscles fatigue at about 6 to 7 seconds. There are some athletes that train a lot that they can hold that position for much longer. However, what ends up happening is they end up using the muscle, and it's not using their structure. And what we really want to do is strengthen the structure. So when you move, you feel light, loose, and free. And that quite frequently doesn't happen when we focus on like conventional squats, like weighted squats, or when we go to the gym and we have the machines like that. It makes it, it's a very different way of working out, focusing on body weight exercises like a squat, just one squat, taking 20 seconds, 30 seconds down, 30 seconds up. Your knees are going to feel very different, especially if the ligaments are loose. There's an immediate neurological response that causes the joint to really tighten up and feel strong, very strong, in a very short period of time. So it's not the number of sets and reps that you do, it's the amount of time under tension as you do that. I actually do have a book that I wrote on that. It's called Stop Your Knee Pain Now, on my website, thekneepainguru.com, and that goes specifically into exercises that both stretch and strengthen the legs, the knee joint, the hips, and the lower back. It'd be very valuable. Anybody who's joining me that has questions, JT, you are not you're not allowed to send me any more messages while I'm on these calls. Let's see. Well, if there aren't any more questions, I'm going to wrap this up. I need to head out the door here shortly, but I wanted to get this video out there because I think it's very valuable, and it's a huge distinction between strengthening muscles, strengthening tendons and ligaments that comprise the knee joint. So if you like the video, please like the video, share it with your friends, go to my Knee Pain Guru Facebook page. I have a 7-day knee pain reduction challenge you can check out there that you could take to begin working with your knee to get a sample of my approach to helping your knee pain. Knee Pain Guru Facebook page, Twitter. Yeah, leave your questions here as well. I'll see those. And thank you so much. Bill Paravano, the Knee Pain Guru, going to sign out for today. Have a great day and a wonderful rest of the week.